Great to see you. This is our third round of breakout sessions for the morning. Right after this, make sure to get down to general session. For the next 45 minutes, you're going to be hearing from an amazing American activist, originally from Florida, saving our country now in the state of Pennsylvania. The founder of the organization Really Vote Action, the amazing Scott Presler.
Hello. You know what it was? It was the Democrats trying to stop us. Well, if anybody's not awake, now we officially are. Thank you. I need to keep you guys with me. That was wonderful. Well, for those of you who may not know me, my name is Scott Presler. I'm the son of a retired Navy captain. I am that long-haired Eagle Scout. And in 2021, I received the Ronald Reagan Award for Freedom. Now, you can't see it, but I am wearing my Texas cowboy boots. My first job a decade ago was helping to elect Governor Greg Abbott in the great state of Texas. And down in Galveston, we actually registered voters at Texas A&M University at Galveston. Wow. And that year, for the first time engaging with our youth, going and registering voters at a college campus, we flipped a state representative seat for the first time since Reconstruction. Now, I never wanted Hillary Clinton to set the tone for the Supreme Court, and I spent 2 years, and with your help, we made Donald Trump the 45th President of the United States. But my life changed forever when he talked about the city of Baltimore, Maryland. Do you guys remember that? Well, I'm the guy that organized a trash cleanup, and with 200 volunteers, we picked up 12 tons of trash in 12 hours in one single day in the most dangerous streets in America. And I remember thinking to myself, guys, this is why I'm a Republican. Well, I'm a conservative, excuse me. Because I don't need the government with all its millions of dollars, that if private citizens coming together in an act of love, we can do more good than the government ever could. So I started traveling the whole country, and I went to Atlanta, Austin, Baltimore, Chicago, Denver, Duquesne, Detroit, Houston, Kenosha, Los Angeles, Miami, Milwaukee, Nashville, Portland, Pittsburgh, Philly, Salem! And you may have seen a viral video of me on social media where I was protested for picking up trash. Have you ever heard of such an absurd thing? In San Francisco, California. Bless their hearts. But you know what we started doing is, that's really when I learned we're gonna couple activism with voter registration. And when I went into communities to help clean them up, we engaged with the citizens, and I said, if you want a better government, then you need to vote for it. You need to get engaged, not just at presidential or congressional, but vote for your state representative, vote for your state senator, go for city council and school board and mayor, and really start from the bottom and build the bench up. Now, 2020 happens, and we all know what happened with that election. And I thought to myself, okay, let's spend the next couple years focusing on getting people to run for those local offices. Anyone here from Pinellas County, Florida? Far. Well, we have a wonderful woman. Her name is Anna Polina Luna. In 2022, you know what we started doing? Because Joe Biden, you know, he canceled our Keystone Pipeline and gas started going up. And I was like, y'all, why don't we do some gas station voter registration? So we went to Pinellas County, and this is a county that was blue. This was represented by Charlie Crist, who ran against Governor DeSantis in 2022. Through voter registration, we flipped Pinellas County from blue to red, and that led to the election of Congresswoman Anna Polina Luna. And furthermore, Long Island. A lot of people might think, oh, you know, New York, it's just a blue state, it's in the New England area. No, we did that gas station voter registration. We even did the first ever drive-through, where they would come, we would register them, they wouldn't even leave their vehicle, and they'd go on their merry way, going from a Democrat to a Republican. And our voter registration efforts in 2022 led to flipping 2 seats from blue to red, New York's 3rd congressional district, and even in Brooklyn, New York. Are you guys getting a theme that as we register more voters, that it flips counties, and therefore we can flip congressional districts, and therefore we can win the majority of the House of Representatives? Are you guys getting this theme? 2022, while it was good, and while we did win a narrow majority in the House of Representatives, the fact of the matter, it wasn't a red wave year. You know, we had the crisis at the border, you had inflation, you had gas. People are still struggling to get by, and everyone was like, oh, Scott, it's gonna be a red wave, don't worry about it. And with all due respect, we didn't win the governorship here in Arizona. We should have Governor Carrie Lake. We lost in Pennsylvania. We lost the governorship in Wisconsin. We lost the governorship in Michigan. And we even elected Senator John Fetterman in Pennsylvania.
Oh my goodness.
Bless his heart. I think he's trying. He's trying his best. And so that's how I created my organization, Early Vote Action. And I'm not here to battle with anyone, so just bear with me. But I really believe that, listen, if the conservatives only wait to vote on one singular day, well, I think that is going to lead to continued failure. It snowed in Nevada on election day, and Adam Laxalt lost the election. The Luzerne County ran out of paper ballots on election day.
That was perfect.
But you know what's cool? Really quick sidebar. The chairwoman, Denise Williams of Luzerne County, at the Board of Elections meeting that I just spoke at 2 nights ago, resigned from her position. And so it shows you the importance of community engagement. This is 7 days before Christmas, but we were still there at that meeting, letting them know that even after we won the election, we're going to continue to raise our voices, to have a magnifying glass under them, and let them know that they are being watched peacefully. Peacefully. And in Arizona, this is factual, the machines had errors on election day. And so I want guys, I want to win elections. I want to save my country. That's why I created earlyvoteaction.com. And so our initial focus was Arizona, Nevada, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin. But I said, if you're going to do one thing, you do it right. And we spent all of our time, all of our talent on the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. We ended up hiring 74 staff across Pennsylvania's 67 counties. Now, how did we do this from a mathematical standpoint? So Joe Biden won Pennsylvania in 2020 by 80,000 votes. And that really was the benchmark that I set for voter registration and engaging with demographic groups. Did you know there are 80,000 truckers in Pennsylvania? So what did we do? We went to the truck stops. We went to the rest stops. We tailgated in the gosh darn parking lot. Off of the turnpike. Then We have 90,000 beautiful Amish in Pennsylvania.
Oh, yeah.
And just for a moment, can you imagine such a thing as 6'5", boot wearing, long haired, cute, conservative, just walking up into these Amish places and just saying, why don't you guys vote? And I'll tell you, I think the biggest problem that conservatives have is for so long we haven't shown up. Look, there's no secret to earning somebody's vote other than you show up, you come prepared with how you want to earn their vote. You also stop using these so much, start using these a little bit more. And just be earnest, and that's what we did. I asked the Amish, why don't you vote? School choice is under attack. Religious freedom is under attack. Raw milk and dairy and farming. And I'll tell you, I was so hardcore in getting those votes, I even milked a cow. At an Amish home. There's a video of me on the smallest stool known to humanity, milking the cows somewhere on social media. And the coolest part is, and I'm not going to say that the Amish necessarily won the election, but they contributed. Every county that had Amish, President Trump received more votes in 2024 than 2020. And so we went to the farmers markets. I want to give a shout out to Ryan Sexton. He's one of our staff. He would go to the Green Dragon Farmers Market every single Friday. He would go to Roots Country Market every single Tuesday. And so if you kind of get a theme here, this is what I'm asking you guys to do, no matter where you are, whatever state. You go to your truck stop, you go to your farmers market. Next. In Pennsylvania, we have 800,000 veterans. It is home to the 4th largest veteran community in the entire United States. And so we went to American Legions. We went to VFW halls. And some people might be like, Scott, these people, they obviously are registered to vote, right? No, one of our staff went to a VFW and registered a 93-year-old man to vote who hasn't voted since he was 30 years old. Because we showed up, because we engaged, because we asked. And really, I ask you at this conference today, when you're talking to all these new like-minded friends, I'm challenging you. Every person you talk to, say, hey, are you registered to vote at your current address? Are you registered to vote as a political affiliation in a state like Nevada, Arizona, Pennsylvania, Florida? Because every time you go to an event, you can't just assume that everybody is taken care of. I've spoken to people even at events like this that they had never voted in their whole lives, and here they are, engaged, activated. Next, we had 930,000 hunters. Now this statistic is mind-blowing. 30% of Pennsylvania hunters are not registered to vote. So do the math, that's 300,000 voters. And remember how I told you that Joe Biden won by 80,000 votes? If every hunter votes, we win. If every veteran votes, we win. If every trucker votes, we win. If every Amish votes, we win. And so part of it is I understand the art of persuasion and conversion, but ultimately one thing that we have to remember is, listen, 30% of Christians are not registered to vote. The fact of the matter is there are more of us than there is the opposition. We must do a better job of cultivating those voices that already agree with us. And then what we do is when we register someone to vote, we save their information. First name, last name, cell phone, email. Why? Because it's not good enough to just register someone to vote. You ultimately want to follow up and follow through with them and actualize those voters. And that's a lot what Turning Point Action did as well, doing the ballot chasing, because ballot harvesting is not legal in every state. And so, what are the results from Pennsylvania? And these, I'm not gonna lie, a lot of people told me, Scott, voter registration doesn't matter. Scott, it didn't matter that you flipped Beaver County in 2023 from blue to red. It didn't matter that you flipped Bucks County in 2024 from blue to red. And it didn't matter that you flipped Luzerne County, but get this. So Luzerne County, which already was voting Republican, but we flipped it to a plurality of registered Republicans, it went from 76,000 votes for Trump in 2016. It went to 86,000 votes for Trump in 2020, and it went to 92,000 votes for Trump in 2020. Now, where I'm going with this, and I take no pleasure in saying this, but Pennsylvania is the only swing state that delivered a Senate seat. Do you know how close the election was? 15,000 votes. And we got Senator-elect Dave McCormick in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. When I went to that Board of Election meeting in front of that chairwoman, I even told her to her face, I said, I want to give a shout out to Luzerne County, because Luzerne County delivered 22,000 votes for Dave McCormick, and therefore Luzerne County elected him into office. Ooh, she was so mad. I loved every second. And so what is the pathway forward? What are we gonna do now? You know, I'm such a workaholic that I'm not just gonna rest on our laurels. I wanna make it clear, please hear me out. The opposition wants you to stay home.
That's right.
They think that the America First movement is done. They think that just because we won this last November, that you're gonna stay home. And so it is imperative, it is incumbent on you guys to vote every single year in every single election. And so yeah, you can clap, baby. What are we focusing on immediately? We've already rehired 23 staff. And I want, if there is an opposition spy in the room, because there might be, I want that person to know that we are working immediately to flip the New Jersey governorship. I was already in Sussex County. I'm speaking to the chairman. We're going to Camden, into Newark, and to Trenton, and we're going to the rurals, and we're going to use the Pennsylvania model to help flip New Jersey on Tuesday, November 4th. And by the way, after we're done here, I'm not leaving. So any person that wants to see me outside, I want to work with every single one of you. I don't care what state it is. Patience, my grasshoppers. But yes, I am coming to California because get this. There are 13 districts that are going to be represented by the opposition that President Trump won. Therefore, those are 13 vulnerable districts that we can flip back in 2026. We all must work immediately towards the midterms. Now, any Wisconsinites in the room?
Yes!
My key babe, yes. Because you know what's happening on Tuesday, April 1st, 2025? This is a rowdy. I mean, gosh, it's 10 o'clock. So, get this. The Supreme Court is currently 4D to 3R. Now, one of the Ds is retiring. And so on Tuesday, April 1st, if Wisconsinites come out and vote, if every person that supported the conservatives this last November votes, you will flip the Supreme Court in Wisconsin for you. Shout out to my Wisconsinites. Right before we started, I just posted on my X account, today is day 13 of reminding Wisconsin voters, so I promise I will do whatever I have to do. We'll go to Kenosha and Racine and Milwaukee and La Crosse and everywhere. Now, Pennsylvania. We have 3 Supreme Court justices that are up for retention next November in 2025. And some of you may be like, Scott, why in the world would I focus on a Supreme Court election? Why would I vote in an off-year election? Listen to this. Those justices voted to allow mail-in ballots in 2020 to be received 3 days after Election Day. Therefore, that's not somebody that, we probably want to retain. We want to say no to retention. And furthermore, they allowed Governor Wolf to shut down Pennsylvania during COVID. You guys have learned here in Arizona, you guys have learned the importance of Supreme Court. They deal with your elections, they deal with gun rights, they deal with the mail-in ballots, they deal with the unmanned drop boxes that we now have in Wisconsin because of Janet Protasiewicz. These Supreme Court elections matter. And so what I need all of y'all to do is look for opportunities. You're gonna start seeing it. When you're at a red light and there's a whole bunch of traffic, you're gonna start to want to put up a voter registration table. I'm serious. So let's go for low-hanging fruit. I want you guys to write this down or make a mental note. Please write down the website, gunshowtrader.com. Gun show, trader like you're trading something, not trader like you're Kamala. It has gunshowtrader.com. Are we getting close? Okay, great. So we're gonna do Q&A in just a second. It has every single gun show for the entire United States of America. And I want you to contact that gun show and say, hey, can I have permission to register voters? No politics, I'm not pushing a candidate. I simply wanna make sure every single person is registered to vote. I want you to do this with your pastor or your faith leader. Again, with gun shows in churches, it's gonna be more nonpartisan because we don't wanna scare people away. And then I want you to look at places like Bass Pro Shop, Home Depot, Walmart, any place that you think you're gonna meet working class America, people that share our conservative Christian values or gun rights or something to that effect. Those are places where we must be engaging with. I tell you, we were at Cabela's in Hamburg, Pennsylvania. Every single person that went in and out, we said, are you registered to vote at your current address? Why? Because this group, which way do you think they're probably gonna vote? Conservatively. So meet people where they are. Now, I do wanna have time for question and answer. Just do me a favor. We have a lot of folks. If you have a question, please make it a question. And let's do rapid fire because I wanna talk with as many of you as possible, okay? Oh yeah, so make a line. Please.
Okay, so everybody, if you want to ask Scott a question, you're just going to come down to the middle of this line, okay? And we're just going to, it's just
Rapid
a question.
fire.
Rapid fire.
Rapid fire.
Okay? Because a lot of you have a lot of questions to ask. So just
So
one
what
behind the
shampoo
other.
he uses.
And if you can, don't come up around the front, try to go around the back. Thanks, guys.
Scott, you were so charming. I just had to say it out loud. Really.
I did my hair just for you guys.
Hi Scott, my name is Jacob, and I'm from Kansas City, Missouri. I live in one of the 2 Democrat congressional districts in Missouri. Our congressman is Emmanuel Cleaver II, who at the end of the prayer on national television said amen and a women to be gender
Oh my
inclusive.
God.
What are some tips for you? I'm 17 years old. What are some tips for you that we can help flip that congressional district 5 in Kansas City?
Thank you. Well, thank you for being here, Jacob. Now, homework assignment on January 1st. Because you're turning 18 next year, as a 17-year-old in the great state of Missouri, you can actually register to vote as a 17-year-old so long as you're turning 18 by the next November. So you can register.
I've actually already registered to vote.
I think we have learned, especially in your area, knowing how your congresspeople, like remember Jamal Bowman pulling the fire alarm, etc. A lot of people are going to remember that statement that he made, and so I think an education campaign of literally going into his district and saying, do you agree with the congressman? And I want you to focus on that voter registration, have the voter registration forms with you. And you can also use our app, which is Early Vote Action, and it will tell you independent doors to knock on, or even conservative doors, or even the opposition, so that way you can get more volunteers, etc. But the biggest thing, Jacob, I think the theme is we have to show up peacefully. So long as we see something wrong that's going on, then we need to show up. So I hope that kind of helps.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jacob. Can we have a round of applause?
Yeah.
It sound a little nuts, but I got to stand upstairs in the Tucker Don Jr. conference, and they handed me my phone. The only thing I asked was for a hug from you.
Oh.
So
He's going in. He's
I
going
am
in.
from Pennsylvania, and you're a hero to me and my family. So
See, do we have love in this house? We have so much love. You know what? She just wanted to sniff my hair. If I ever met Joe Biden, he would go for a whiff. I'm telling you. It's fresh. Okay, so thank you.
Hey, my name is Logan. I'm from Washington. I'm 15 years old, and I have passed. Although I met how I first saw you was you milking the cow. I saw the picture. I'm like, I was looking up the candidates. I saw the picture. I'm like, who is that? And that's how it makes it. I got to know you, and I have to say, are you coming to Washington?
yes!
Am I invited? Let's talk. Let's talk Washington.
I like that. I like it.
How are you, Ms. French? Thank you.
Jim Walsh wants you to come and do our Republican Action Convention in the summer. And I texted you, and you got that.
Thank you. Carrie French, ladies and
By the way,
gentlemen.
can I have a hug too? Can I have a hug too?
Say it again?
Can I have a hug too?
Oh, yeah. May I have permission? Good job. Good job.
All right. Hi, I'm Brad from Avondale, Arizona. And my question is, with the migrants, they usually get a card, and it seems like the limit never runs out. So how would be ways to fix that?
You know what? We are going into this new Congress with a conservative White House, a conservative House, and a conservative Senate. I would like to see this new Congress pass the SAVE Act and provide for election integrity and voter ID. I think that's one of the most important.
Yeah?
And furthermore, I do believe on a statewide level, some of the states, Virginia removed illegal aliens from the voter rolls, and even, I believe, went to the Supreme Court and they said it's legal.
That's
I
beautiful.
think we must have that each state level, and we must have that federally as well. Because ultimately, and this is something I would offer up to the opposition, is wouldn't you say that, you know, they always say Black Lives Matter, which I do agree.
Yeah.
Doesn't an illegal alien vote dilute the black vote?
Yeah.
And so therefore, shouldn't they be just as angry that that's actually diluting minority voices? And I think this is an issue that we can have synergy on. And so I would love to see election integrity and voter ID laws passed into law.
Yeah? Thank you.
Thank you for being here.
Hello, I'm Daniel. I'm from Jacksonville, Florida. So, first thing, as we all know, rhinos are arguably just as much of a problem for the Trump and MAGA agenda. But as we know, it can be incredibly difficult to oust a rhino. Just simply put, not every primary ends up like Liz Cheney in Wyoming. What are ways that we can take action against rhinos and against Republicans who are voting against Trump's interests? And also, could we borrow a lock of your hair to clone you 50 times?
As long as you take it from the back. So, well, here's something that I want people to be reminded of. So, there were 10 members of Congress that voted to impeach our great president. And I want to remind any person, Republican or not, that is trying to stop our mandate and our America First agenda, that 8 of those people that voted to impeach President Trump are no longer in office. I went to Wyoming to help defeat Liz Cheney. I went to Illinois to help defeat Adam Kinzinger. But this shows the importance of, well, I mean, let me offer, and don't baloney me. How many of you guys vote in every single primary in your state? Okay, so the majority, but I'm still seeing some people that don't. Guys, if you want to make real change, the majority of House districts in the entire country are decided not in the general. It's the person that wins the primary who is ultimately going to win the general. And so I would say it is incumbent upon us to use our tools. Look at what you guys did with the CR. God bless Elon Musk. My future husband, God bless. I saw him first. Look at what you guys did. People like DC Drano, everybody using your voices on X, that we were able to stop a very bad bill from being passed. And so I would say we must continue to be educated, we must continue to register to vote, and we must continue to vote in every single election. So notice, I talked about Tuesday, April 1st, I have that in my head. I talked about Tuesday, November 4th. I need every single one of you, whatever state you're in, to already have your next primary memorized in your head. So when you're at the supermarket, grocery store, etc. But thank you for being here, and I'm from Jacksonville, Florida.
It's going to be a tough nut to crack, but thank you for your time.
Thank you. Good to meet you. Elizabeth.
Hi, yes. I'm Elizabeth Barcolana. I'm from LA County. I was recently elected to the Republican Party. We have the... People don't know this, but LA County has the most number of registered Republicans in the country. We have over 1 million now. And the question I want to ask you is, the most pushback we get from our constituents in California about voting is cheating.
Yes.
People don't even want to show up to vote because they think that they're going to steal it anyway. So
Sure.
what's the point?
Sure.
And to your point, you know, once we get in, hopefully we'll get voter ID and integrity laws passed. But until that point, what is the argument and facts that you give in the field that you're having success convincing people to vote even though they feel that way?
Understood. And we have 10, so I'm going to do rapid because I want to see all of our people. But look, we just won the White House on Tuesday, November 5th, 2024. So any person that said they were going to rig it, that they were going to cheat, that they were going to flip ballots, we made it too big to rig and we beat the cheat. We've already done it. You know what we did in Pennsylvania? What I want to see more from you guys is I want you to go to Indeed.com, and when you see a position open to work at your county election office, I want you to apply to that job. If we don't apply to it, the opposition is. So you go to Indeed.com. Next, I want you to show up to all of your voter registration and county commissioner board of election meetings. And then furthermore, I want you to deliver a letter. You know what we did in PA? Because they ran out of paper, we said, what are you doing to make sure this never happens again? What are you doing to make sure that the machines aren't going to go down and run out of power? And the more that these people know that they are being watched, the more deterrent effect that there is going to be to mitigate shenanigans in our elections. And I will be coming to Orange County. Let's take back Michelle Steele's seat. Let's take back my Ursula seat. Let's take back North seat. And good to see you.
I'm Cheryl. I'm here from Arizona, and I used your app to do over 2,000 postcards.
Wow. Thank you.
And I'm just curious, how successful was that campaign? Did
Yes.
it actually work? Because I'm happy to.
Yes. I want your help, please. And thank you. Can we get a round of applause? 2,000 postcards. That's 2,000 states this woman did. Okay, so why do we do postcards? Postcards have a 25% return on investment. 1 out of every 4 postcards you write is going to turn into a new registered voter or a new registered conservative. We did this in Louisiana, electing Governor Jeff Landry to office. We sent out postcards to unregistered voters. Then 2 weeks later, we tracked the data, and we had a 25% return on investment. So this is how we try to recruit. I want your help. Let's have you help Wisconsin or Pennsylvania, and then let's focus on defeating I can't say her name, but the Hobgoblin. We're gonna defeat. Yes, we're gonna have new campaigns on the Early Vote Action app, which is available on your iPhone and your Android. Thanks, Cheryl. Good job. Thank you very, very much.
Hi, Scott. I'm Wyatt. I'm from great state of Texas. My dad's from Pennsylvania. I sailed down from Maryland. So thank you for the Keystone State and winning us the election. I do have a question. So Texas State House and everything that's going on right now. I've got one of the people that's not going for it. One of those rhinos. How can we apply that? Your efforts, how can we apply it to potential voters to grow voter bases for people now and in the future so we can primary these people who are not on the agenda for Trump and get them out and get people in that we do want?
Thank you. Well, we're 3 days away from the holiday, so maybe don't knock on the door now. Literally, January 1st. I know that sounds crazy, but I need you guys taking action immediately. And just so you guys are aware, I know we're not necessarily supposed to talk about this stuff, but listen, the Speaker of the House is putting the opposition party on committees that are able to then shut down good conservative legislation because these opposition voices are in places of power. That's what's happening right now. Even though Texas is a red state, and even though we just had massive winnings, even bigger than 2016, but it's not acting like a conservative state. Yes, so the biggest thing that we need to do is immediately, I'd say, look, are you happy with opposition being placed on committees and places of power that are stopping legislation meant to, lower taxes or, stop gender surgeries and stuff like that? Then we need to immediately get ready for the 2026 primaries. That's going to be the biggest battle for the great state of Texas. And so whatever I can do to help, I do want to come down into South Texas with Miss Flores.
My name's Rylan. I'm moving from California to Texas. I don't want John Cornyn representing me in the Senate, and I believe the person is going to primary him. Would you help me primary John Cornyn?
Yes! I'm not going to commit to a candidate right now, but I will say I know the AG and he's a wonderful human being. But the person that you just mentioned, the other one, he's got to go. Are you guys noticing that young people are going to save our country? Okay, we got 5 minutes, so let's go, Vegas.
So good to see you. Thank you for the conversation earlier, and thank you for your dad's service to the Navy. As I told you, working on this journey, back in 2020, I was amongst people who were blocked and banned and suspended from Twitter. Bless Elon Musk. We are so grateful for Elon Musk. So after inauguration, the RNC of the GOP, do we have a great contingency plan to keep like the retention of those liberals and historically Democrats who voted for President Trump this election to like a voter outreach program to make sure that we keep those voters for 2028 midterms?
Yes. Well, as I've kind of laid out for you, I want to make it clear it's incumbent upon us to continue voting every single year. 2025, we have municipal, 2026, midterms, 2028, the next presidential. So yes, I mean, really, ultimately, guys, we have to remember though, conservatives were elected. They must now lead. We are the party in power. They have a responsibility to secure the border, peace, not war, make America healthy again, lower the corporate tax, stop 300 people dying a day from fentanyl and opioids. I mean, the Republicans have a lot of things to prove in order to earn those continued votes ultimately. So thank you for being here. He's going to join the service again if we can give him a round of applause.
And thank you so much for all you do.
Thank you.
And I miss X Twitters and the mean tweets. I miss them.
Thank you. Good job.
Hello, Scott. My name is Landon. I'm a Turning Point USA chapter leader at my university. I'm from the university. I I think it's so cool that you're coming to OC because there's so many voters that are Republican. There's so many Republicans in Irvine that just don't vote, and there's so many of us. And I go to a Lutheran school in Concordia, and the amount of people that aren't registered to vote is crazy. And the amount of people that we are working to spread the word about registering to vote is insurmountable. So being a chapter leader at my college, do you have any advice? And since I'm working to get a coalition of conservatives on campus, just what we can do as a chapter, and is there any hope for California as a whole?
Thank you. Well, I'd say the reason I think why people, and I hope this doesn't sound egotistical, people respect me because I'm a doer. I take action. And when I post stuff on social media, I'm not doing it to pat myself on the back or make it the Scott Presler show, but I want to show by doing. And so my biggest encouragement to every single one of you is never feel like you're patting yourself on the back. You're leading as an example to show others what they can do in order to make change. And so, for example, I'd love to see more tabling at the university and doing voter registration and bringing the message to the students. I'd love to see more philanthropy. We're going to do more cleanups with my organization, and maybe there's an opportunity. I haven't been to Van Nuys in a while, but if there's an opportunity to do that, I'd love to work with the CRs over there.
Awesome, thank you so much.
And I know they're owned by China, but I think it's important that we are on TikTok because remember, if we allow the opposition to have a vacuum, a void where there is no conservative values or policies, then they are going to take it over. So get on Blue Sky and get on Threads and get on TikTok so that way we can bring a conservative alternative to these people. Thank you for being here. Thank you. Good job. Thank you.
I'm a Wisconsin guy, and
connect, my Wisconsin people, connect with them.
Yeah, I'm sick and tired of the Supreme Court, just a bunch of bully Democrats. And we definitely need to get a Republican conservative majority on the Supreme Court. Where can we start looking for voters? Just some suggestions. Where can we be looking for the voters to get that majority?
So here's what you can do. Two things. Then I know they're about to cut us off, so unfortunately I'm going to make you the last one, but I'm happy to see everyone after. I'm not leaving until I see everybody. So a couple things. Door knocking does win elections, and I think it's important. However, think about this for a second. Let's say that one person goes out and knocks on 100 doors, but they only, get 10 people to actually answer the door. Unless you're doing a specific action like ballot chasing, etc., here's what I suggest. We would go to Sheetz, which is a gas station that has made-to-order food, and we'd set up a Trump table, and within 4 hours, we had 300 people coming to us that we were registering them, we were engaging them, we were getting their information. And so I think going to a major population center, you're in Green Bay, right? You're in Brown County.
Wausau.
Oh, Wausau. Well, oh my gosh, well, you're in an even more conservative county. So you throw a stone, you hit a conservative. But I would suggest people, again, go to those places where you're going to reach the most out of us. If they see a Make America Great, again, young man, they're going to come talk to you, and that's your opportunity to say, hey, are you happy that the opposition has unmanned drop axes, that they're trying to get rid of voter ID laws, that they're not, they don't want any election integrity, and say, well, I need your vote on Tuesday, April 1st, 2025, to flip that Supreme Court from blue to red. And so we need to do a better job of engaging and meeting the people where they are. But my Wisconsin people, you connect. And I'm so sorry to end the line, but let me just do a last finishing statement, if I will, and I'll see you guys after, if that's okay. Good job, Peter. So, I think the ultimate thing, we have a lot of young people in the room today, and I just want to say one thing. I started off my career as a dog walker. I never thought this would be my life. If you told me I was going to be traveling the country, picking up trash and registering voters, I would have told you, bumped your head. I lost your mind. But one person really can make a difference. You look at President Donald John Trump. You look at Elon Musk. You look at Tulsi Gabbard. You look at
Scott Presler.
But I want each of you to know, you ultimately ultimately, you have the power to make real, true change. And I hope, even if it's registering 5 voters, or whether it's you run for office, or whether you're helping to win a Supreme Court race, I hope every single one of you stays engaged in the fight. And I look forward to meeting every single one of you. And I do want to give a shout out. Thank you to Charlie Kirk for having me. Thank you to Tyler Boyer. And let's continue to win, and the best is yet to come. Thank you guys for doing that. So I'll see you guys outside. I'm not going anywhere.